The Netherlands looks calm, organized, effortless, but that didn't happen by chance. Colin, Introduction. A landscape that should not exist. There is something quietly improbable about the Netherlands, a country where land exists below sea level, yet remains dry, where water surrounds everything, but rarely disrupts anything. At first glance, it feels natural. Canals flowing gently, cities aligned with precision, movement without friction. But look closer, and something changes. This is not just a place that developed over time. It is a place that was shaped, maintained, adjusted, arming, continuously. Some historians believe the Netherlands is not simply the result of history, but of systems. Tensing, systems that do not demand attention, yet quietly organize everything. And perhaps that is why they are so effective. Official historical background. Officially, the story of the Netherlands begins with geography. A delta region, formed by rivers and the sea. Low land, constantly exposed to water. For centuries, survival required action. Floods threatened settlements. Storms reshaped coastlines. Water ignored boundaries. So people responded. And they built dikes. They dug canals. They created systems of control, of luck. Over time, these systems expanded. Land was not only protected, it was created. Polders emerged, areas reclaimed from water. At the same time, the Netherlands developed into a major center of trade. Ports connected Europe to the wider world. Commerce expanded. Cities grew. Institutions formed. This is the official narrative. And geography created necessity. Necessity created engineering. Engineering created stability. But some researchers suggest this explanation describes only the surface. Because systems built for survival may begin to shape something deeper. Behavior. 1. The system of water governance. Water in the Netherlands is not an element of nature alone. It is managed. Continuously. Historically, this management did not rely on a single authority. 114. Instead, local water boards were formed. Communities responsible for maintaining specific sections of land. Dikes had to be monitored. Levels had to be controlled. Decisions had to be coordinated. Failure in one area could affect everything. Some historians believe this created a distinct pattern. 17. Decision-making through cooperation. 8. Not because it was ideal, but because it was necessary. One interpretation suggests that this requirement shaped a long-term habit. Consensus. Not as an abstract value, but as a practical solution. It is debated how much this continues to influence modern society. But the pattern remains visible. Coordination, shared responsibility, long-term planning. Because in a system where everything is connected, individual decisions are never fully isolated. 2. The system of designed space. Dutch cities are often described as efficient. But efficiency rarely emerges on its own. It is designed. Canals follow structured lines. Streets align with intention. Buildings exist within defined limits. Nothing feels excessive. Nothing feels accidental. Some researchers suggest this reflects more than engineering. It reflects a principle. And that space can guide behavior. 1. When movement is predictable, interaction becomes smoother. When layout is clear, navigation becomes intuitive. One theory suggests that people adapt to structured environments. Inside, without being told. They follow patterns embedded in space. It is debated whether this limits spontaneity. But perhaps spontaneity does not disappear. It shifts. into areas where structure allows it. 1. 3. The system of trade and trust. The Netherlands became influential through trade. Not through expansion of territory, but through expansion of connections. 5. Trade depends on trust. 1. Agreements must be honored. Standards must be consistent. Reputation must be reliable. Some historians believe Dutch society developed strong systems of dependability. Because without consistency, trade fails. Tadation, not gradually, immediately. Cows. One interpretation suggests that trust became institutional and embedded in rules, processes, expectations, not dependent on individuals alone, but supported by systems. And it is debated how much this still defines behavior today. But patterns of reliability remain visible. Efficiency, predictability, stability, to then, all require trust. And trust requires repetition. 4. The system of balance and adaptation. The Netherlands exists in a constant state of adjustment. Between land and water, between expansion and control. Balance is not achieved once. It is maintained. Continuously. Some researchers suggest this created a particular mindset. Avoid extremes. 1. Adjust gradually. Preserve equilibrium. Because sudden imbalance can lead to failure. Wonder Singh. One theory suggests that this approach extends beyond physical systems and into decision-making, into social behavior, into expectations. It is debated whether this slows transformation. But it may also prevent instability. Balance becomes not only a condition, but a strategy. Conclusion, the invisible system. The Netherlands appears calm and organized, effortless. But beneath that appearance, systems operate. 1. Water governance, designed space, trade reliability, balance. They are not always visible. 1 state, they do not announce themselves. 1 have, but they shape outcomes. They influence behavior. They define what becomes possible. And perhaps that is why they endure. Because the strongest systems are not the ones we see. They are the ones we live inside, without noticing. Some systems aren't visible, but they shape everything you see. Also, this video explores history and disputed theories for educational purposes.